All right, welcome everybody. It's Shane Trades with TraderLink, and today we're doing another market overview on how we basically caught the bottom today. Obviously, we ran up to all-time highs. We've been expecting that since Sunday.
Not really.
So from there, we'll kind of run into how we caught the intraday bottom in terms of that. So let me pull up YouTube. Let me open that. Open up the video from today. Okay. This can go to this side. I don't want this here. Okay, so starting off on the morning, let's let this refresh a little bit. Okay, here we go. So off the get-go, one thing, obviously, 5,300 big bar, 5,325 big bar, right? So that's sort of the ideal range for the morning. And obviously for those who were did we do live today? Today. Okay. So starting off, I had already said in the morning. Oh, I'm not sharing Discord. Hold on. Okay, so the first thing, obviously, send out the vol reversion levels. Next thing I said at 6:38, look meta, look NVIDIA, NQ looking stronger than ES, right? So let's just take a look at what that looked like in the morning. It definitely looked super strong in the morning in terms of NQ in comparison to ES, right? There was also a bit of SMT that I had been watching for, but once again, there's a bunch of NQ is a lot stronger. Like look at the biggest, look at this low get taken, right? This low is made at the same time. Oh shoot. I forgot the security. Mute. No. Mute participants upon entry. Mute all. Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now let's get started. Apologies for that. That's my bad. Please don't fuck with the other. I trust you guys to not fuck with the settings and everything. They're all like there. Let me just change it all really quick. I don't want it to get scuffed in the middle. Someone fucking starts sharing their screen with porn. Okay, now everything's should be tightened up. No video, no nothing. Perfect. Okay, so in the morning already, there was some SMT, right? These lows, if you notice the crosshair, was made at the same time, right? So with that being said, when we had taken out that low on ES, I was like, okay, this has got to mean something. Like even further back, we took out this low as well, right? But in general, this was the low that I had been watching initially since it got swept earlier right around here, or right around this time. On top of that, NVIDIA had been running. So if we open up a chart for NVIDIA off the rip, 15 NVIDIA, right? Look at this. NVIDIA just kept going. Second one, Meta, ripping off the open, right? Go through the other ones. Tesla was selling off. Microsoft, I believe, was also ripping. Yep. Microsoft ripping as well. So a lot of the Mag 7 stocks, like the main ones that I'm always watching on my watch list here that I just flipped through, they were all running really strongly. So with that being said, those are the ones that I pay close attention to in terms of using it for sentiment. Next thing that I said at 6:43, looking for longs at support, seeming like 95 or 00, which is 5,300, could be a good long zone. So if you go to SPX, look what I had drawn out, long zone. Why? Because 5,300 was a positive support level, right? As we can tell right here, if we zoom in, let's make this bigger. 5,300 is huge, right? Keep in mind, positive as well. It acts, and positive acts like more support and resistance, negative acts like acceleration. So once again, it's a little bit confusing in terms of today because there was a little bit of interest at like 890, but even then, and then Gex flip was a little bit lower. So I was a little bit hesitant to go long, but with even though, the story had been told from the beginning, following that, you'll see on Discord, I'd even been posting this 7:15. At some point today, this should bounce. Just need to time when. And everyone, if it just keeps dropping into lunch, we'll look for longs post-lunch session. But if you look at this, look at the amount of positive delta built up on the first 3 footprint charts on the 15-minute. Look at that. These are not small amounts. 68,000. There, that one day where we popped up super high, it was because we had like only 52,000 in positive delta. And look at this buildup. Every candle down had positive delta built up, right? This is a 15-minute. So if we go to a 15-minute on SPX, these three red candles, positive delta, and then we tap into the 5,300 long zone. And why is it the long zone on top of that? It's because we had the vol reversion at 95.5 or 95.05, right? So just in case it draws down a little bit lower, that's when I like to use the zone rather than a specific hard level. And it worked out very well, right? I mean, there was no other, if you look at the chart, there's zero drawdown if you had taken 5,300 longs, right? So once again, using tools across the dashboard to help sort of build some sort of conviction or bias, right? We gapped up overnight. So for me, I'm just thinking, okay, I had a feeling that we'd just continue going up, right? Since a Sunday, we kind of determined on top of that. So we had positive 5,300 DGEX as support. Second thing is huge amounts of positive delta built up on the footprint chart. Third one is the footprint chart, right? I mean, the SMT. On top of that, if you had even just drawn fibs remotely, like to the high, we tapped right into it. ES kind of violated it, but once again, we had SMT there, so not a huge deal. But you know, that's the thing about the SMT where it kind of comes in where these lows get swept, but the other ones don't. So just things to keep in mind. But yeah, it was a perfect level for today. I wish I fucking held my position, not even hold the position, but got in at 5,300. I was a little bit hesitant because we had some pickup. And also, I wasn't at my desk at the time. I was absolutely fucking getting my brains melted by my butthole. TMI, my bad. But I was on the fucking on the toilet, literally just getting destroyed. And that toilet run costed me fucking like 80 grand, maybe even more, probably even close to 100,000. I had the 25 calls, bro. But it is what it is. And on top of that, the next thing to pay close attention to, vol reversion. MILF Slayer turned to ass blaster. What is vol reversion? Vol reversion are levels that we generate in the morning that I send out that we're working on getting implemented in the dashboard. I just got an update from Gio and Mitchell. They are working on getting the visual for how it'll look on the dashboard. So once again, working towards getting it onto the actual dashboard rather than me just sending it out every morning, right? And these levels are generated by volatility reversion on top of GEX levels. So it works out very well, right? We finally got above and we treated it like resistance, right? This one was a failed attempt to get above. And then when we got another close high day, right? My suggestion to everybody, and I always say this, you guys hear me say it all the time. I will not long the breakout. I will not long this breakout. I will not long this breakout. Why? Because the R to R is trash, right? I wait, let it break out and then come back for a retest and you can take the entry. That's always going to be better. Why? Because on a breakout, volatility, number one, is going to be higher. Number two, when it comes down here, once again, volatility is going to be higher on the breakout. So when it comes back down, the contracts will be worth less than it were when it initially broke out. So let's say, okay, we finally got above the level. You take it long here versus waiting for a retest here, right? It makes much more sense to play the retest, R to R wise on contracts. Does that make sense, guys? Also gives better confirmation. Always remember, do not, like even me today, right? I took longs, I think right around here even. And I wasn't too happy with it. How do you decide which options contract to take based on delta implied volatility? So for me personally, I usually take SPY in the money contracts, but they've been very expensive lately. And at that point, it's kind of like, okay, if I put 5 grand into SPY in the money contracts, they're not going to move as much. I may as well put 5 grand into it, like an SPX contract that costs roughly the same per contract. Obviously out the money versus in the money, but if you've noticed all throughout the day, call premiums have been holding incredibly well. So it just makes, at a certain point when you find like these bottoms on the contracts itself, it makes a lot of sense. We just tagged in something. I post it. But yeah, I've been kind of just flipping back to SPX. It depends on the situation, right? So I had taken SPX here, and I already felt like I was FOMOing in, right? I didn't like that. So I actually sold out of majority of the SPX options when they went to like 20%, because number one, it was a little bit oversized. Number two, the contracts were way more expensive than I really wanted them to be. So then after that, I basically had just taken SPY contracts on any of these dips. Like these dips, I would take SPY contracts and just scalp them with stops at break even. And unfortunately, every single one of them got stopped at break even. It is what it is. But it just one of those days where if I miss it, I rather just play light, scalp the size, scalp with light size, and just keep playing it that way. Because at a certain point, it's just like I don't want to reinforce bad habits. Right. Because initially right here, when I entered, that was FOMO. I told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna buy, I don't want to buy. It's past like number one, this was my buy, and I'm buying fucking 20 points higher than that. So like I didn't want to be in the position, and I shouldn't have been in the position. So with that being said, that's why for me, I'm always like, okay, if I wasn't supposed to be in the position, then I'm just gonna wait. And if since I didn't wait, I FOMO'd in, I closed majority of it at 20% just to close them. So 53.25 being AOI on raw gamma, and then 53.50 is AOI on bias on the other footprint chart. Split Vana. Split Vana has not been working. Oh, but I can use Discord. You're right. Licked it, split Vana till the fucking thing. Check it out at around 7 a.m. Okay. Holy balls. 5,300. Yeah. 5,300 is huge, bro. You're right. Giant fucking Vana wall. So things to also add on to it. Right. Next one was 40. There was another wall at 40, right? We couldn't get above that 40 level for a good amount of time. We kept kind of just chopping around there, around this 40 zone. 35, 40, yeah. Right around here. We just kept chopping. And then when we finally got above, retested 40 and then sent it up. There was a huge call wall on 40. Yeah, right here. Video, I had one of the largest call walls at 40. But yeah, overall, like today, I'll be honest, it was if you held like fucking Husband Slayer or Vince in our chat, good on you. That's some balls. Today was a very tough move up. Like these drawdowns, especially if you're out of money, they would wreck the contracts a good amount. If you pick the wrong contracts. So, but it was a very yeah, 7K to 70K profit. He literally hit 1,000% and on full position. Yeah, Vana can be used. Split Vana more so can be used as that. Same with like Vana flips. Vana flips are always good for support resistance as well. But yeah, split Vana walls are great for support and resistance setups. Yeah, Vana flip was at 53.50 all fucking day, bro. All day. Did not change. Like, or right here, 53.25, right? At 7 a.m. So it's telling you it wants to go higher. And then later on, as we started moving out throughout the day, it literally got higher and higher. Like, look, 53.50. Right. So it just kept moving up. And this is at fucking 8 a.m., 8:30, 8:44 a.m. Yeah, you only really needed Vana today, to be completely honest. It was a huge way. The footprint chart has been game. Yeah, dude, fucking footprint has been crazy. If you look at today, dude, skill analysis, I posted it too. 953, not a single lick of negative delta. It's just strong positive, man. It was very good today. Like this shit is fucking crazy at the open. Footprint is such a game changer for people who have been using it the way that I've been showing everyone is just like pay attention to the divergences. It is such a big difference. It helps you determine whether or not like the sentiment or like who's in control. Because most people in the morning, like right here, are probably thinking, oh, this thing's gonna fucking yank back, blah, blah, blah. Because it's just they like these candles, right? It looks bearish. People are probably thinking it's bearish. So with that being said, it's like, because like these are not small candles to the downside, right? This is how big is this candle? 52. This is a 10, almost a 10.5 minute candle, guys. Like they're big to the downside. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Where is this? Shit. That's not the right one either. Oh yeah, but there's still like 5 to 10 points. 06 down to 7. Like it's pretty gnarly, dude. And so to see that, it's nice. It helps a lot. You see through the bullshit, the fugazi. The price can sometimes be going down, but positive on a or positive delta footprint or footprint delta would bring back the next candle. Yeah, exactly. If there's no negative gamma on the charts, it's just lower chances of fall. Pretty much, honestly. It's not, there can be sell-offs, but it's like with positive, if it's ultra positive, dude, those are some of the days to just literally fucking buy and close your eyes. On those 3 red candles, they were actually loading the fucking yeah, dude, I'm telling you, footprint, like the first 50, like 45 minutes, bro. Everyone was like, I have a feeling everyone's probably thinking yank down. Like even I was thinking yank down, and the footprint chart was telling me otherwise. Yeah, 900% banger, bro. Do I have is there a video on footprint? No. Well, yeah, we do. I made it. The biggest thing to pay attention to is literally that difference in or the divergence in the delta to the candle. Introduction, speed, intro to footprint chart, this one. Oh yeah, actually Liquidos. I was gonna ask you if you can set up to add footprint onto the recording instead of oh my dog scared the fuck out of me. Instead of something like let's see. Since Vana doesn't work, can you add a footprint chart and then take out maybe speed? Yeah, instead of split Vana, since split Vana isn't working, and we have the screenshots for split Vana, so it's not a huge deal. And we have screenshots for speed. So if you could replace those two with a footprint chart, it's either speed or delta. Because I would leave delta because we don't have a screenshot of it, right? And we have split, like we have speed. It's 5 on a SPX speed. Yeah, we have speed. So you can take out speed and split Vana and then just put like a very small footprint chart that takes up like this bottom 2 columns. No, speed we have screenshots of it. So it's like it's not necessary to have speed. You have it up. Like if you want to go back and look, you have this. Like if you, I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's necessary to have speed up there since we have the screenshots, right? You can go back and look at the screenshots. More, yeah, you're right. Jonathan R. Days with massive positive gamma are definitely like you have very high probability of uptrend days. Market makers don't care much about making money on like naked options. They're always hedged. Excuse me. Sorry if I blew somebody's eardrums out. Personally, I watch for any sort of like relative size delta. Anything above like 20, 25K is pretty solid. If you see something like 50 to 60K, like that's even better. That's my take. What is positive? Oh, you mean positive bars today. How do I interpret that? Once again, right? I always say I really don't give a flying fuck about bot positions. Oh yeah, skew is also like leaning downside. See, look at this. I think I said this earlier too. When we were on live, if you look at skew, it's just like there's more upside space. I'm pretty sure I sent it in the main trade chat. Skew is leaning to, like, you could easily just keep targeting higher and higher so long as skew showed it. From the open, we had the same D to I 53, 52. Yeah. Wouldn't the amount of delta against the bar also be relative to the size of the candle movement? Wouldn't the amount of delta against the bar also be relative to the size of the candle? Not entirely, because a candle could end like in the middle, like a doji pretty much with the diverging delta. It depends on where they buy, right? Because if you look at the footprint chart, it tells you the delta at which they're kind of buying up, right? So like this area, they ended up buying up more versus this area. Because bid and ask ends up being the same thing. If you look at it and run the math, like I rather just look at the math side of things. It's easier, or like the mathed out version of it, right? Yeah, like if you can literally do the math, you could take 29,000 minus 24, or yeah, plus 20, negative 29,000 plus 24,000, right? And then you'll get that number minus 493, 4983. Can you touch on IV skew looking bullish? Yeah, basically when it comes to IV skew, let's just Google, get the drawing up. If it looks something like this, right? You have your bars here, whatever, right? Something like that, right? Basically, when IV skew is facing this way, we'll just draw it out like this, right? If IV skew is like this, spot price is like this. This is harder for the market to push up. Why? Think of a rock. Which way is it going to be easier to push the rock? Obviously, to go upside, it's going to be harder for a human to push the rock, right? So that being said, when IV skew looks like this, it's harder for the stock to go up, and vice versa. When IV skew looks like this, it's going to be harder for the stock to go down, right? Why? Because you're pushing a rock up a steep hill, right? And vice versa. If it's something like this, where it's just pretty much like a parabola, then you're pretty much stuck at IV low for the day. Then you're kind of expect chop, right? It's going to be hard to go up to either side or down, right? Does that make sense? Is it safe to say there wasn't a single piece of data that said to go short all session? That was something I kind of took away, even during the drawdowns. Yeah, you're 100% right. There was not much data, if any at all, to basically tell you to go short or to not hold your longs. There was a little bit of a divergence between D-adjusted. D-adjusted picked up 350 much later than raw did. When some charts on the footprint don't show positive, what would it be? When it doesn't show it, that just means the delta matches. So like this is a positive delta, right? This shows it, red candle with a positive delta, right? Positive delta. If it's a red candle with no delta on top, that means it's a negative delta, right? We only show diverging deltas. So if it's a green candle and has a negative delta, it'll show. If it's a green candle with positive delta, it won't show. If it's a red candle with positive delta, it will show. If there's a red candle with negative delta, it will not show. Yeah, there was some interest. That's why I was hesitating. It was it was relatively tough in the morning, in my opinion. Like when we were practically at the bottom. So right here. Right. There's definitely some interest below. Right. They're kind of equal with one another up here. But on raw, it's not very equal. This is much bigger than all of them. This is much bigger than all of them. So it's kind of like this is when using both and using skew with it. Get a little top hat. Look at skew does as the price moves up. All right, let's go through that. Yeah, every time we're moving up, skew kind of shifts to the, doesn't get as steep. Yeah, the low goes above the AOI. You're right. Making it very, very much easier for the stock to push up. 100% right. Do you ever base your targets off raw gamma exposure over de-adjusted, asking since skew shifts faster on the raw side? I usually base my targets completely off of just de-adjusted. I'll be honest. And that's probably why it messed with my head when we got above 25 today. Because if you look at this right here, there's not much interest above us in terms of above 53.25. But if you look at this, there is only interest above us at 53.25. What you just circled on the raw is what had me convinced we were going higher. The positive delta, of course. Yeah. On the footprint on top of this, like this is what made me hesitate. Should have definitely paid attention more to Vana split or Vana flip. Because it was always above us. The entirety of the day, it is above us. Yeah, split fuck. Let me gather myself. Sorry. Vana flip. Here we go. This is what if there is no pickup ahead it looks like, right? Yeah, like if there's no pickup above, like since we got to 50 above 50, like there's no pickup. So like let's go to when we were like getting to 50, which is basically end of day. Right? So we're at 50. Look at that. This is what it's like for no pickup. This is when you can be like, okay, we're probably not going higher. And on top of that, look at the skew of IV. On top of that, Vana flip, right? So these are like your key identifiers for we're likely to not go higher. Yeah, no, today that's why if you look at my setup, I always have both because one can always tell more of a story than the other. And in this case, today just so happened to be raw. Footprint is one of the best, man. Yeah, skew. Oh, it's like skew adjusted. I wonder what skew adjusted said today. I'll be honest. At this point, where do you have the video paused? Doesn't skew look like it's hard to go up? Yeah. Where I have the video paused, if you look at where price is at 53.47. This is like, yeah, no, guys, I know de-adjusted was a little bit sus today. I'm on that same boat. That's what made me not think we would go up higher, but we did. So I mean, even I missed it. Happens. Nothing you can do about it, right? Everyone's judgment is going to be relatively different. So in that sense, it's kind of like you can't really. Sometimes one tells a story, sometimes the other tells it better, right? But in this case, it just so happened to be raw. And even me, like I said, I hesitated. That's the cool part about the data. Everyone can view it like slightly differently. Frank, these Zoom calls are so helpful, man. Thank you. No problem. Tell that to that J guy on our fucking Discord today. Sorry, just had to say it. That guy ticked me the hell off. That guy ticked me the hell off. I spent so much like today. You can ask Gio, bro. We've been dealing with a lot today. Like a lot. So with that being said, it's like, and I'm still here. Even though it was delayed, I'm still fucking here teaching a class. So thank you, Kaz. Kaz. I don't know how to pronounce that. So sorry if I butchered it. No, today was a tough day, guys. It's not an easy day. Even me, bro. Made back the losses. Look, I even ended on my small portfolio only up $500. Look, I have swings for next like 2 weeks outputs because NQ swept the high. So like I'm very light sized in that. And even then with those red, I'm still green $500. So When selecting contracts, do you have a strict rule of thumb, 1 to 3? No, for SPY, I usually go like, I look for 0.8 deltas on SPY in the money contracts, for SPY specifically. SPX, tough. SPX for me, I just want the contracts to end at least in the money. That's the main goal. So if you have like a 5350 as a target, try to go like $10 in the money. Or like you want to make sure that contract goes $10 in the money. So you pick like a 40 or a 20 or like a 30 call, something where it can go in the money. That's the main thing with SPX, like that people need to understand is like you want your contracts to go in the money by the end of the day. With Voniflip being on top, does that also act like a magnet like ABS? Not so much as a on top, but it can. I wouldn't put too much weight into that. I would use it as a secondary, right? If Voniflip is above you, then you're likely going to continue to push up. Today was frustrating for me after not getting calls early and trying to find times in which to enter a strike. I find myself having a hard time when we're in training. What data would give you conviction to stay calls? Literally like the 5300s or like 5350, right? Showing that interest above. If you look at this chart right here, it's a big tell, right? You have so much interest above, all the positive delta on the footprint, showing you that buyers have been in control all day. Like that's a big one. Thank you, Jeremy. We try our best, man. Yeah, strut, dude. Sometimes it's like, keep in mind, right? I always stress this to you guys in terms of like trading psychology. If you miss your entry, look, I suggest just sitting it out. Like me today, when I FOMO entered, I took off the entirety position like so quickly, dude. Because when you FOMO enter and you don't follow your trading plan, you are reinforcing bad habits, right? You don't want to do that because let's say you FOMO enter and you get away with it, meaning you made like a good amount of profit. That's lucky, bro. You don't want to you don't want to base it off luck. You want to base it off high probability trades and then have a little bit of luck sprinkled on top. Man, I understand what you say about IV curve, but like I said, super econ, take it for what you want. Like that tail facing upwards most of the day as well. Low. I base it upon that's how I trade it. Whichever side is easier to fall towards, I will likely base it upon that. That is how I've always treated it, and so on and so forth. We need a delta for SPY. Got it. SPX end at least in the money. What time are you expecting contracts to go in the money? ASAP or their cutoff time? No, I just want them in the money by the end of the day. By the time it hits the target. That's the main thing. So if you have a target of 53.50, once again, you want it at least $10 in the money. Rarely, Zion, I rarely hold contracts all the way from open to close. Like winning contracts, that is. Like I'll likely hold a position to 0, like I did with like yesterday. On charts, did you see any neg delta is an accelerant? No, not negative delta, negative gamma as an accelerant. Positive as a positive gex as support and resistance, but negative gamma is going to be accelerant. When we did have weeks of massive when we have had what oh, my brain. When we have had weeks of massive whip, trend days keep people second guessing. It's just nature. Yeah, you're right. No trades for me as I couldn't see it and I felt FOMO all day. Yeah, pain of discipline, 100%. Like I said, dude, you have to reinforce good habits. You do not want to take an entry on FOMO and build a bad habit and continuously build upon it. You have to do that, man. And sometimes it's painful to just sit here and look at the market while it runs up without you. I shit you not, dude. Gio, I was talking to Gio all day. Like, motherfucker, I didn't hold my position. Or motherfucker, I missed my entry. Did you expect to see a move at the end of the day where we just jumped over 53.50? Personally, I wasn't watching. I fucking said fuck it. I'm walking away since I'm like sitting here not taking position, sitting in my own FOMO. Also, yeah, Jade's guys, keep your eyes on what Jade says in chat. She's very on it now because she's like spent. I shit you not, every time I've done a video, or a fucking class, she's been in there. She's been in there since every single fucking time, bro. Every time. So she puts in the fucking hours to keep up with what I'm teaching. And I have a feeling she also takes the time outside of class to learn it. There's women in here. I need a new fucking Zin. Jay Wong, what is your first name? It's Jade, isn't it? Are you Jade? Can I confirm?
Sorry, fell asleep.
Was it a woman? I always see Jay Wong, but I used to see Jade Wong. So I'm not sure if it's the same person. If it is, great. If it's not the same, sorry for mixing you guys up. Chicks dig huge delta, bro. Guys, relax. Could it be? It's 2024. You can't assume. No, you're 100% right. That's the problem now. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Just a guy. Are you Jade Wong? I don't know, bro. I'm lost. But I always see Jay Wong in here all the time. All the fucking time, man. He, she, they John Wong spends the time learning. He's always in here.
Can I say hi to the kids?
Yeah. Jay Thong. Fuck.
What's up, dude?
Jay's here. He's right behind me.
Breathing down his neck.
I don't like that.
Huh? Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna oil this guy up.
Okay. Bro, everyone's just waiting for Joe to oil me up. All
Hey,
right.
dude, don't say that when they can record it, dude.
It's already recorded.
Uh,
She's lying. Like he's... It's time, bro. Everyone's just waiting, bro.
This dog, dude.
Yeah, she's just laying next to my desk.
Where my dog's at?
All right, guys. I'm gonna end the class here. Thank you guys for tuning in. 47 people. I think this is the highest I've seen. Thank you for the new joiners. But once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be on chat tomorrow. We'll be on the analysis channel. We'll also be on live again at 10 a.m. So if you're not, tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah.
So Thursday, for those who aren't subbed, it's live, open to all. You just have to join the Discord. Do we even have the Discord invite, bro?
Yeah.
Is it on our
I don't have it anywhere, but I can.
Let's do it. Put it invite link.
I can throw up the deuces.
We'll do never. All right, everyone, copy this link. And if you're not in, oh, that's a direct message. Okay, if you're not in Discord, the Apex one, or the Trader Link one, we run the lives Thursday and Friday for open to the public. Monday through Wednesday, live is just for subs. But if you haven't joined, use that. Take a picture. Status on historical data. We're got a lot on our plate, so I have no clue. That's like one, oddly enough, like I hate to break it to everybody, but that's like the least of our fucking worries right now. But okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna close it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll once again, we'll be on live at 10 a.m. PST tomorrow. So see you guys there. As always, have a great rest of your guys' night and keep moving forward. Thank you.